What's up, guys? So the market is in quite an interesting spot right now, and I know a lot of you guys are confused, a bit concerned. Some of you are definitely super excited and bullish. It's really interesting to see people's opinions, but I think a lot of people are confused on what they should be doing with their investments right now. Should you be buying? Should you be selling? Should you be holding? Should you be doing nothing at all? So I kind of want to just talk through some of the investments that have been popping off, give a little bit of a discussion about buying and selling. And yeah, we'll close out the video after all of that. So, Fusion Strike has obviously popped off around 290 USD right now. I made a video a couple days ago. I'm holding my Fusion Strike. So, if you held Fusion Strike, I would recommend holding. But again, all of this is just advice. You do you. Fusion Strike right now, I think, is a hold, even up 100% year over year. I like where Fusion Strike is going. Lost Origin, same thing. It's a hold, even though it's 245. Now, do you want to buy a Lost Origin? If you have no exposure to it, maybe get some exposure. Considering we're at a point where pre-orders for new sets are going for 120, 130 USD, and we don't even know what cards are going to be inside the set, and it's 3.5 months out, maybe a set like this not going to get reprinted again, sitting around $245, $110 more. Maybe it's worth it to you to buy. And if you don't know what I'm referring to, last night I did make a video. Hobbies will put out pre-orders for Journey Together. It doesn't come out until mid-March or end of March. And they sold out at what was it, 165 Canadian. They put out more pre-orders this morning, 180 Canadian, I believe, and they sold out as well. So just insane what people are doing with pre-orders. But anyways, Lost Origin, definitely a hold in my book. Same thing with Paldean Fates. Obviously, this is probably the set outside of Surging Sparks most susceptible to a reprint. I'd imagine these prices would come down a bit, but that would probably just lead to a decent buying opportunity in the short term if that happens. Even at $70 in ETB, I think these are fine to hold on to. Now, if you bought in at $30 and you want to take some profits, you've already doubled, sell off half, keep half. I think that's fine as well, and I'd especially be okay with that in a set like Paldean Fates more so than something like Surging or with Fusion Strike rather, just because I think in the short term there is a possibility Paldean Fates gets reprinted and you'll be able to buy back in, which makes selling off half and realizing some equity and potentially buying in again at a lower price if you wanted to put the money back into Paldean Fates. It makes it a bit more of a enticing play in my mind than something like Fusion Strike, which isn't going to get reprinted. Surging Spark, same thing. With all the cards popping off right now, most people that have access to distro or know someone with distro saying that nothing's coming until at least February, probably a decent time to hold on to this right now. I have actually sold a couple boxes, only a couple, and I doubled my money on them, so I'm happy to have moved them, but I'm actually holding on to most of it, like the vast majority of my Surging Sparks right now. Don't want to sell this. 151. I kind of missed the boat with 151. I didn't get as much as I wanted to. If you guys are holding ETBs, again, I still think it's a hold. Even if a reprint comes, I don't think it's going to matter too much. Now, something that you should probably sell, the Mew EX. I mean, this thing was up to $300. Most recent sales from today and yesterday, $280 respectively. So the card is, based on most recent sales, coming down a tiny bit. We will have to keep an eye on this. But I was watching a live stream the other day, and I'm not going to mention names, but someone said they thought that this card had the makings to get to $1,000 raw. And, that kind of just made me laugh. And that kind of proved to me where people's minds are at when it comes to the hobby as a whole right now. Guys, this card already 3x'd, over 3x'd. And to expect that it's going to do it again and reach $1,000 and just be, somehow the god card of Scarlet and Violet era and contest with something like the Moonbryon. I mean, some people are just so out of it. They really just don't understand what's going on. And I remember watching Alpha Investments older videos, right, from years ago, and even a couple years ago from 2021, 2022, when he talked about people just not being in the hobby long enough, not understanding history and how it's repeated itself in the Pokemon industry, right? So, I think we're kind of entering that phase again where people just have never experienced loss. I mean, I've never experienced huge loss with my Pokemon investments either, but I'm fully prepared for when that does happen, and I'm fully expecting that there will come a time where Pokemon is not as popular. People aren't into rip and shipping as much anymore. They're not into opening their packs. Like, I expect that that time will come, and like in society, we go through phases, right? So, for me, it's okay, but I think for some people, they just don't think the stuff can go down at all, which is definitely worrying, right? But if you made good profit on the MUEX, I would probably be moving this card at this price point. And then Crown Zenith, I think something like this, whereas all of these are holds, maybe the Muses sell. Crown Zenith, I think in my mind is still a buy. Now maybe not the ETBs, right? But you could buy ETBs $70. We talked about the Hidden Fates ETBs, pushing $200 at this point. 151 ETBs, $116. I would say that 151 is probably a favored set compared to Crown Zenith, and I don't think that's a super controversial take, but people love Crown Zenith. We're probably not going to see more ETBs ever, especially considering last set yellow borders. So I think these are going to do well long term, right? And you can still buy Crown Zenith on the Pokemon Center, which I think for most people is probably going to be the cheapest outside of Sea and Sky boxes and deals at, Sam's Club, Walmart, stuff like that. So if you can get good deals, sure, load up. In the past week or so, the tins with the Galarian Articuno promo have sold out. So I imagine that the Zapdos promo is not going to be far behind. For Canadians, this is probably one of the cheapest ways for us to get Crown Zenith packs, actually. And then once these go, I imagine these 3-pack blisters will go fast. These, big figure collections of Zamazenta and Zacian, these will probably go as well. And the Morpeko will be late, just because it's not priced that well. But I mean, this stuff will be gone, guys. Probably, I imagine all of this, on the Pokemon Center, all of these products will be sold out probably by the end of winter, start of spring. So maybe March, early April, something like this. And it could go faster than that, right? But by that point, all of this Crown Zenith is going to be gone. Crown Zenith is going to dry up very fast in your local markets and retail stores. You're going to see less and less of it as we move past that two-year release point of Crown Zenith. So that's one thing I think you could still buy. Some people are going back and they're still buying these Astral Radiance ETBs, the PC versions, 10 packs, I believe it is. Again, I don't think the price is right there yet where you should be dumping all your money into something like this. But again, within the next few months, as prices change, box prices increase, it's going to make more sense to buy a product like this. The Silver Tempest booster bundles are still in stock. You can still buy a case quantity of these. I imagine these are going to go pretty soon. We saw the booster box sell out. And just today, the sleeved boosters also sold out as well. So you're really only down to this, and there might be another product, maybe like the Build and Battle Stadiums. I'm not exactly sure, but this is one of the last things of Silver Tempest. I imagine that these are going to be gone fairly shortly. And there still are some other products, right? We already covered Crown Zenith. Vivid Voltage, even this is still starting to see a move at this point. And guys, you can buy 24 boxes, which I thought was interesting, right? So Pokemon is giving you the choice to buy 4 cases. So Vivid Voltage, I mean, this was just printed in the ground, kind of insane. But if you did want some cases of it, sure, go ahead. Battle Styles, there actually is a limit of 48, I think. So you can buy 8 cases? Yeah, so, these will eventually go as well. I think we're still kind of far away from these selling out. These are obviously less valued sets in the Sword and Shield era compared to something like Crown Zenith and Silver Tempest. But, these will eventually go also. So other things that I thought were just, interesting to note on the Pokemon Center website. Shrouded Fable PCTBs have moved into the #1 spot in terms of relevance. So these are probably going to be gone fairly shortly as well. They're one of the last, if not the last, Scarlet and Violet era PCETB still in stock with the Pecharunt promo. So, I imagine these are going to be gone soon. People might turn to Twilight, who knows. But, outside these PCTBs going, I think Silver Tempest will continue to go. I think buying stuff at MSRP right now still makes sense for this in a market where, a lot of stuff is overpriced. Maybe buying out the Crown Zenith if you guys have stores. And to show that I'm not, bullshitting, actually, if I open that, it's going to show my account info. But all right, so I edited a bit and just scrolled down so you can't see my my account name and stuff like that. But these are sold out. This did happen today, so I wasn't lying about that. But I do think people are going to buy out Silver Tempest, they're going to be buying out a lot of these other products like Crown Zenith. And I think those are kind of really some of the only plays right now that are worth making in terms of MSRP. I think a lot of stuff, if you've already bought in, your Surging Sparks, your Paldean Fates, your 151, a lot of this stuff is just holds, guys. Like, I don't think you should be, going too crazy. Just ride the wave. Now, if you also want to just hold your money, I think that's fine too. I'm still stacking cash for when Prismatic comes. If there's very good short-term flips that I can make, I'm doing that as well. For example, I got a Discord notification last night, PokeNotify. It released after midnight, like 12:34 or something. Walmart.ca restocked poster collections. They rolled them back. So after tax, it was like 22.37 Canadian. These are things I can sell locally for $30. I could sell them on eBay and make like $32, $33. I can even send them off to Amazon and net about $36 after fees. So, a lot of these for me are going to be short-term flips just to build cash, and all of that is going to be pushed back into, longer-term holds like ETBs of Prismatic Evolutions when that comes out, more Crown Zenith that, I'm looking to hold long-term, and potentially even into Journey Together and the other sets coming in 2025. So, all of our situations are different. We all have different goals with investing. We're all at different stages in our lives. So depending on how much money you have invested, if you need money right now, how much you've gained on some of your investments overall, it's really going to depend on what you want to do. But don't go selling everything. I think we still have a ways to go on a lot of these products. But don't go, gung-ho into buying everything either. Be smart about your investments, and also just enjoy this time, right? Like, this is a very rare period in Pokemon investing where we have a crazy bull run with tons of popularity. So enjoy it while it lasts, and ride that wave, guys. So thank you so much for watching. Stay safe wherever you are in the world. Again, if you're going to go shopping, Hobbiesville, TCG Player, eBay, I have affiliate links in the description down below. They're free to use, helps out the channel a bit. So if you use those, and I know a couple of you guys did use them last night to pre-order some stuff on Hobbiesville. So again, thank you for the support. I really appreciate it. It means a lot. Again, stay safe wherever you guys are in the world, and I'll catch you in the next one.